This is Jim from Surf and Turf Roofing doing a digital analysis on Kingston Drive in Cherry Hill. Now, Sydney and Ann, I'm really glad you guys called us out here when you did, because we definitely need to get on these repairs immediately. Now, what I did is I threw on my GoPro to actually show you some of the issues that I'm seeing up on your roofing system here. Well, the very first one seeing is the amount of moss and algae growth that you have across the entire back slope of the roofing system here. Now, the cause of this is a lack of a sufficient exhaust source. So over the years, these shingles have been cooking and heating up so much to the point that they start to degranulate. And when they degranulate, they lose that protective coating, and it allows water to seep in and start growing all this algae and moss that you have across the entire scope of this back slope here. And then what that leads to missing shingles. So you can see you're missing a shingle clean off the back slope here. And you can see all the granules pouring off. We definitely need to get this taken care of as soon as possible before you start losing more and more shingles. And the next thing I notice, what'll happen is that'll make this chimney flashing a lot easier to leak. So you can see how old and rusted out this flashing is here. So what I did is I took out my digital endoscope to really show you what's going on behind this flashing, which is completely detached from the brick and the mortar here. So what you'll see as I bring out my microscope here is the brick and the mortar of the actual base of the chimney here. Now, every time it rains, what's happening is water is sliding down the slope, getting in past this flashing and causing damage to the brick. So again, we desperately need to get on top of this before this causes a structural issue with the chimney. But then the biggest problem that I see and why you have the leak over here in the kitchen is because of this low slope back here. So this low slope has the wrong materials on the inside as to where the water drastically slows down as it's coming down the roof here. And when it slows down, it starts seeping into the shingles and then into the kitchen down below. So if I take out my moisture meter and put this anywhere, a normal reading should be under 5%. So if I put it on my arm, it's off the charts. So if I put it right here, you're reading 21%. As I come down here a little bit, you're reading 11-12%. And I come down here where you actually have a wind zipper, where the shingles are actually losing their adhesion due from the water damage, and that hard driven rain is getting right underneath these shingles and dumping out into the kitchen here. So I'm glad you guys called us when you did, so we can jump ahead of this. So what I'm going to do is get down, put a plan together for you. Holy cow, you're at 50%, and we'll make sure we get these taken care of as soon as possible.